All right, so shalom, shalom. We're gonna start off by saying Barakathon, Hashem Yahushua, and I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the hope of the elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom. All right, so Lord willing, right, let's edify and exalt. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be quick. I'm gonna flow through the spirit. I got a few precepts in mind. Going to on the subject. Right, we'll tie this lesson going into 1 John chapter 2. Right, it's like 1 John chapter 3. And verse 10. Right, and it says, I read it in KJV. First it says, "And the children of power, or the children of Yahweh, are manifest." Now, real quick, I want to go to that word children and see if that's referring to sons. Yeah, technon, sons. So really is the sons of power, which, last night I was watching Elder Pastor Rumlai, he was mentioning a lot on that, how before we became Israel, we were known as the sons of power. Like when you go into it, we didn't know no evil, all we knew was righteousness. Right, going to Genesis chapter 6, right? We was known as the sons of power, right? He said, in this, the sons of power, or we read it, not reading it verbatim, what it should say is, in this, the sons of power is reading verbatim, and this, the children of power, right, or children of God, are manifest in the children of the devil, right? It says, because you know who the children of the devil? Esau, Edom, going all the way back to Cain. It said, whosoever doeth not righteous is not of Yahweh, neither he that loveth not his brother, right? And that's what I want to title is he that loveth not his brother, right? Because we know, going all the way back to Cain, which you're going to read, and that's how, and this the characteristic how you can prove to show that what Esau is the reincarnation of Cain, right? Which he is, right? You got to understand reincarnation through the spirit, right? Cain's wiped away through the flood, right? Him and his descendants, and came back. That same wicked spirit came back to Esau, Edom. That same wicked spirit that was on that serpent in the garden, right? So read it in the NLT. It says, so now we can all tell who are children of Yahweh and who are children of the devil. We can tell that. Characteristics, the action, because why? They remember, when you go to 2 Thessalonians, right, let's go to it. What is it? Esau opposed himself of anything that is called God, right? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, right? Verse 4. Right, what in fact, verse 3. It said, let no man deceive you by any means, for the day shall not come, shall there be a falling away first, which happens, 680, 70 AD. Right, he says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Who is that talking about? Esau, Edom, that man of sin, wicked. Right, going all the way back to Cain, right? It says, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God. So he's the opposite of God. We just read, what it says, in the children of power manifest. It's like NLT. So we can tell who are the children of Yahweh and who are children of the devil. Anyone who does not live righteously and does not love other believers, right? I like what it says in the KJV, but as you can see, right, they don't do nothing righteous. The scriptures tell you that what they oppose, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God. They're the opposite, right? They oppose themselves against Yahweh Shah. They're the opposite. They're adversary. Satan means adversary. They're the opposite of Yahweh Shah. They're against. Right? He said who opposes himself. Let me go to 2 Thessalonians here so I can bring out that word opposer, right? Bring out that word opposer, right?
Strong's G 480. Antikamai.
Antikamai, right? It says to be set over against, opposite to oppose, to be adverse to, withstand, adversary, be contrary, oppose, right? So this is what you're seeing, right? This is Esau is, so we know that he's who? He's the, when you go back to it, he's the who, right? He's the children of the devil, the children of the wicked, right? It's like 1 John chapter 3, right? And we know that what? He loved not his brother, right? He been, this goes always back to Cain and Abel, right? So let's continue reading on. It says, for this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another, right? Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, right? Which is Esau is the reincarnation of Cain, right? It says, and slew his brother. What have Esau been doing for years, for hundreds of years, right? It says, and wherefore slew he him because of his own works were evil and his brother righteous, right? When you go to Romans, right? When you go to Romans, it speaks about how, let me see, bear with me. Bear with me, what I wanted. What I wanted, bear with me. I'm scrolling through this to make sure I'm trying to see what I wanted. I think it's more up. Okay, this is what I want, right? Start right here, Romans 9, right? I wanted that vessel unto honor, the vessel unto dishonor, right? Let me see. Unto. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm gonna allow this brother. When I'm doing a lesson, they don't want to try to help me get me the autocorrect help you spell things, man. Say you trying to work against it. Bear with me. What is that? I know it's in Romans. Bear with me real fast. Man, come on, man. Slacky, bear with me. I'm finna find it. Yeah, Romans 9 and 21. Right? Because you have a vessel unto honor and a vessel unto dishonor. Who is that vessel unto dishonor? Esau, Edom, they're the wicked. Right? This Romans 9, I want to read right here, right? So start at verse 20. It says, nay, but oh man, who art thou that replies against Yahweh? Shall the thing form say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me this? Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Because you have the sons of power, right? You have the sons of the wicked, which is Esau. They're the vessels. They the vessels unto dishonor, right? It says, what if Yahweh will show his wrath and make his power known and do it much long suffering? The vessels of wrath fitted the description. Who is this? Esau. That's why they call the sons of perdition. That's why they call the sons of perdition, right? And I grabbed that because Esau Edom, right? Esau Edom is doing exactly what the exactly what the Most High knew he would do. Because why? That's that same spirit. The Most High controls all spirits. Cain slew his brother back then, right? Guess what Esau's gonna do today? Slew his brother today. Most High knew they would do that, right? It says, what is that? Bear with me. I'm gonna go up in this chat. The Slack will jump around the chat. I'm gonna go back up, right? Go to that. Whom was just his will, right? Right here, Romans 9, and I started 15, right? For he said to Moses, I will show mercy. I will have mercy. I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. But the scripture said to Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Right? That's why America, Esau, that's why he's exalted to what he is now. Because when the Most High bring him down, everybody gonna know who the true powers are and who the true people are. Right? It says, therefore hath he mercy on whom he have mercy, and whom he will harden. Whom he will, he harden. Right? It's the point right here. Right? He says, thou wilt then say unto me, why doeth yet find fault? For whom is his will? Right? It says right here, verse 19, NLT, well then you might say, why does Yahweh blame people for not responding? Have they simply done what he makes them do? No, don't say that. Who are you, a mere human being, to argue with Yahweh? Should the thing that, well, we read that, should the thing that created say to the one who created, why have you made me this? Right? Because whom resisted his will? Right? Nobody has resisted his will. Esau, Most High knew what Esau would do. Right? So going back to 1 John, right? 3 again, right? And it says, "In the children or in the sons of power are manifest, and the children of the devil." Right? Because it's Esau, Edom. Whosoever doeth not righteous is not of Yahweh, which we know, which you read, they the opposite. Right? Neither he that loveth not his brother. Right? Because that's why he jumped. Let's jump down to verse 12. That's why he said, right? For this is message. Well, I'll read verse 11. It says, "For this the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another." From the beginning, man. Right? But from the beginning, Cain, same spirit been on what? Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one and slew his brother. This is just one of the accounts the why Edom is going to be destroyed, right? Because he slew his brother. You're going all the way back to Cain even today. Right? This is just one in a sense charge. You go to the court when they name all the charges. This is just one charge the Most High going to put in front of their face what they done. Right? It says, not as Cain, who was that wicked one, and slew his brother, wherefore slew he him, because because his own works were evil, and his brother righteous, right? So I'll read right here in verse 12 in NLT. So we must not be like Cain, who belonged to the evil one and kill his brother. That's why he's going to be judged. It says, and why did he kill him? Because Cain had been doing what was evil, and his brother had been doing what was righteous. Because we had to, and you gotta know, we are the righteous, right? We're the righteous, and Esau doesn't like that. Elder Pastor Roman speaking on this replacement theology. They want to put themselves in the places of the right. That's why they go around faking to the earth like they're the righteous when they know they're the wicked. They steal from the wicked, right? They're Deuteronomy 32, where the Most High knew they would do all these things. The Most High knew it, right? They ain't doing nothing but doing exactly what the Most High knew they would do. Just how today, right? Nothing new under the sun. Just how today you got a lot of Jake who still caught up in the same ways and same things they had going on in their past life. Guess what? Esau doing the same thing he was doing in his past life. Esau never gonna repent. See, that's why we have the blessing to be able to repent, man, from our ways that got us here. Because we're our forefathers from back then, right? Caught up in those same ways. But Esau's still on the same motive, man, as he was before. He didn't love not his brother, right? When you go to their vine, what it says, Deuteronomy 32, around about verse, right, 32. It says, for their vines, the vine of Sodom and the fields of Gomorrah, right? Their grapes, actually, yeah, Slacky, I want to jump down to verse 33, Slacky, right? It says, their wine is the poison. Hold on. Yeah, for their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps, right? It says their wine is the venom of serpents, the deadly poison of cobras, right? This is Esau's the wicked. He's that serpent, Their vine, their lineage is wicked, man. Their lineage go always back to wicked. And there's many things that we can bring in front of you to show you the wickedness of Esau. One of the things Most High going to charge against is what? He loved not his brother. He been slowing and killing his brother for the longest, right? Which is us, right? Let's go to Malachi. They're not our brother no more, right? Let's go to Malachi 1, right? Right? Malachi 1, start verse 1, says, the burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2, I have loved you, you said to the Lord Yahweh, yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? So Malachi asked him, like, you saying you loved us, but like, where have you loved us? He says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, said the Lord Yahweh, yet I love Jacob. Verse 2, in the NLT. So I have always loved you, said the Lord Yahweh. But you retort, really? How have you loved us? And the Lord replied, this is how I showed my love for you. I loved your ancestor Jacob, right? But I rejected his brother Esau and devastated his hill country and turned Esau's inheritance into a desert for jackals, right? But understanding, going until he built he throw down when they was down for those 1,000 years. But the point is, they was our brother, but they're not our brother no more, right? For all the persecutions and things they've done unto us, right? Let's go here to Psalms. Right, the Most High is going to count these things, man. Right? He that loveth not his brother, the Most High going to judge him for that. Right? Even with Jake, even you got Jake out here slewing and killing each other. Most High is going to judge him for that. But that's ultimately a curse put upon us. I should be evil toward his brother. right? But Esau, his eye always been, he's evil. His eye always been evil towards his brother. Going all the way back to Cain, man, right? This Psalm's 50, right? Might be 51. Yeah, nah, this is right. Psalms 50, right? And starting at 19, it says, "Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit." Right? It says, "Thou sittest," speaking of Esau, Edom, right? It says, "Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou stonest thy own mother's son." This is what they do, right? "These things hast thou done, and I kept silence, because judgment just brought upon him yet." Right? Altogether, thou thought altogether, it's like thou thought that I was altogether such as one as thyself, because they think the Most High on their side. "But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." Right? Read verse 19 to 21 in NLT. It says, "Your mouth is filled with wickedness, and your tongue is full of lies." Right? It says, "You sit around and slander your brother, your own mother's son." This is what they do. Right? This is what he do. He that loveth not his brother, man. Right? He's going to be judged for that, for all the wickedness and the things he done to our nation, our people. Right? When they brought this place up, what did the scripture say? Apostle John said he saw this place drunken with the blood of the saints, man. Right? They've been killing and slaughtering people for going back to the northern kingdom, man. Going back to the northern kingdom. They was killing and slaughtering them. Right? Persecuting them. Right? It says, while you did all this, I remained silent, and you thought I didn't care. Right? Guess what? "But now I will rebuke you, listing all my charges against you." This is one of the charges, man. Right? This is one of the charges. Right? It's one of the charges when the time comes. Where he loved not his brother. Right? That's why Most High put a mark upon Cain. That mark was leprosy. So now we're able to point out who that wicked is today. Because his pigment was script. Who was that today? The so-called white man's pigment script for him. That's why his name was Esau. Right? Ishua. Right? Wasted away is he. His pigment was script from him, man. You know? Right? I had another precept in mind. Let me see. Bear with me. Let's go to Genesis 27:41. Right? It says, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him." Right? They hate us because they sold the birthright. Well, ultimately, it played out how Yahweh Shah said it to be, because from the beginning, what the Most High knew what Esau would do, man. You got to think, what is he? He the same spirit. He the reincarnation of Cain. Right? The Most High knew exactly what he would do. Right? So, in a sense, he sold his birthright for the raw piece of meat, the red pottage, right? Where he get his name Edom from, right? So he's mad. He thinking that destroying and killing us, the birthright can forfeit unto him. He thinking to get rid of us, or the birthright can forfeit unto him. It don't work like that, man. Right? But it says, Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, right, in his mind, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob." That says in the NLT, right? It says from that time on, Esau hated Jacob because their father had given Jacob the blessing. Because we're the sons of power, righteous, right? And Jacob's name was later changed to Israel in the next chapters, right? During Genesis 28, verse 32. It says, "Esau began to scheme, I will soon be mourning my father's death, then I will kill my brother Jacob." This is his mindset. So the Most High is going to punish him. The Most High is going to punish him for that, right? Bear with me. Bear with me. Search some off my other phone. Right? So I typed in Esau gonna be punished for wanting to kill his brother. Right? Let me go to chat. Let me see. Let me go to chat. It's a good answer right here. But I'm gonna go to chat. I'm gonna type it in on this phone. I downloaded the chat. Let's see. And the reason I'm typing it like this, because if I type in, they're going to try to say, oh, the Edomites are already gone. So I want to see what type of answer they're going to give right here, man. So we're gonna grab that Obadiah 1, right? Let's see. We're gonna grab it. We already let's see. Let's grab that Obadiah. Right, we was gonna grab that. We was gonna grab Ezekiel. That's his spirit. Cause I really forgot about those precepts. Now this Obadiah 1, right? And this was gonna come into Esau, right? I started at verse 9. It says, and that mighty man, O Teman is the Germans, shall be dismayed, to the end that everyone of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, man. So them slowing and killing, going all the way back to who? Right? Going all the way back to Cain, man. Going all the way back to Cain. Right? Man, Most High is gonna punish them for this. This is one of the charges. Right? We read Malachi chapter 1. Yeah, we read Malachi chapter 1. But I want to read this right here. Right? I'm gonna start back up verse 3. It says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains and heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom says we are in province, we will return and build desolate places. When it was down for those 1,000 years, it came back up. Said, this is the Lord Yahweh of hosts. They shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever, man. Most High is going to punish them for that, right? Most High is going to punish them for that, man. Let's continue reading, right? As I mentioned, Ezekiel 35, that whole chapter goes into it. And Most High set your face against Mount Seir. It says, Ezekiel 35 condemns Edom for having a perpetual hatred against Israel, right? This whole chapter going to that, right? A good chapter to show that Esau's going to pay for the persecution and affliction he brought upon his brother, right? Whom is his will, right? Even though the Most High gave us to their hand, when the Most High said they went overboard, they did too much, right? They did too much. They hate showing. That's why they hate us, right? They hate us, man. Right? Going all the way back to the scriptures speak about how this enemy started, right? When the Most High put that curse upon the serpent. Let's see, Genesis 3, right? Right here, right? Genesis 3 and 15. It says, I will put an instant between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, thou shalt bruise his heel. Because why? We're in low places right now. They bruise our head. We're going to bruise their heel. We're going to bring them down, right? But this intimacy goes back all the way to Cain and Abel, man. That serpent in the garden, that evil spirit, right, which was on that serpent, right, came on Cain, came out through the flood, came out through Esau. They've been on this mindset. They've been on this. The Most High knew exactly what they was on from the beginning. Right? And now it's time for their judgment to come up for it. Right? Now it's time for their judgment to show for it. Right? Ezekiel 35, right? I want to get straight to the point. I like that. I hate this. I not hated blood, right? Let's go to here. Ezekiel 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had perpetual hatred, has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, right? In the time of their calamity, in the time that iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare blood unto thee. It's like I'll prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, man. Right? Since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. That's what's gonna come upon them. Why? he that loveth not his brother, man. Right? And we don't want him to love us. We don't need him to. Right? But this is one of the punishment Esau's going to get, man. Right? These people try to look past the slaughter. They be trying to make slavery. They be trying to minimize slavery and all that. Even not even just the Southern Kingdom, man. A lot of these, like, we focus a lot on Southern Kingdom because over here in America what happened there. But when you even go to the Northern Kingdom, they got over here, right? Christopher Columbus, enslaving the Northern Kingdom, right? Enslaved them, take them back over there to Spain, sell them as slaves and things as such, right? I remember it was like 500 of them, right? Right? Let me see. Let me type it. Let me ask chat something. Let me see. Let's finish the record. So, right? It says, so the biblical picture is Esau personally wanted to kill Jacob after the blessing was taken. Esau later reconciled with Jacob. The judgments pronounced in prophecy are against Edom for counting hostility and violence against Jacob's descendants. It's Esau's descendants who are doing it, right? Okay. I'm gonna type in like this. I want to say Northern Kingdom, but I'm typing in like this. Okay, here it is. I'm just showing you accounts of the slaughtering and the persecution of what Esau, because we know about the Southern Kingdom. They teach that in school, and now they're trying to get rid of it, right? That's why the book of Ecclesiastes, right, 3:15, the Most High required things of the past. Esau want to get rid of these things, right? But he can't. Remember, we just read Most High in Psalms 50 and 21. The Most High in NLT says the Most High listened all his charges against you. These are one of your charges, man. We read Obadiah 1-10, right? Matter of fact, let me grab that again. Obadiah 1-10, right? What it says, right? It says, for thy violence against thy brother, all the violence, right, which we bringing out, we're going to show a little bit in the history on chat, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever, man, right? So it says, yes, historically records show that Christopher Columbus and his men enslaved indigenous people, which is Northern Kingdom, and the Caribbean after arriving in 1492. After establishing settlements on the island of Hispaniola, today divided between Haiti and Dominican Republic, Columbus captured many members of the Taino people. In 1495, he sent hundreds of indigenous captives across the Atlantic to Spain. So you got to think, they was doing this before he was doing the J. They was doing it to the Northern Kingdom, man. Right? It says the Atlantic to Spain to be sold into slavery. Historically, accounts commonly report that 500 to 550 captives were shipped. Many died during the voyage, and others died soon after arrival, man. Right? So you seeing this? They been slaughtering our people. You think they're gonna receive a judgment for this, man? This is one of the reasons what they've been doing to our people, man. Most High is gonna bring a judgment upon them. That's why I want to grab this Ezekiel 35 and 5 in NLT, 5 and 6 in NLT. It says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel, right? It's eternal. Because Esau, it's how to say Edomites is done away with. Man, Esau here today, why you think Esau, he don't move how he does? Because that eternal hatred, they've been hating us, right? It says, your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins, right? Because they went overboard, man, right? Search it up. Just search up yokes of iron, right? Just search it up, see what they did to our people. It says, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord Yahweh, as you shall know distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come. Their turn has come. Now it's time for them to face persecution. And we're gonna do what they did unto us. Not that weird, the weird stuff they used to have going on. But we gonna do, man, they gonna get it in the kingdom. Just know that, man. We gonna punish them in the kingdom. We ain't moving how wicked they was moving. I ain't trying to say too much. All the other extras that they had going on, but bringing forth righteous punishment unto them, man, we gonna bring it to the full extent, man. Before they killing and slaughtering our people for the longest, right? So let's go back to 1 John 3 and read this before we close it out, Lord. Right? Pretty good lesson, Lord willing. Right? So we see how they were slaughtering the Northern Kingdom before us, for the Southern Kingdom. Then they brought the Southern Kingdom, right? But guess what? He loved not his brother, man. Guess what? You're gonna be punished, right? Let's go again, because this precept right here would spark me to go into it. 1 John 3:10. It says, in this, the sons of power are manifest, and the children of the devil, because we know who they are, Esau, Edom. Whosoever doeth not righteous is not of Yahweh, neither he that loveth not his brother. They don't love their brother, man. They don't love their brother, right? They don't love us. And you got Jake out here who despise our you got Jake out here who despise their brothers as well. You got Jake out here who be killing and slaughtering each other, right? Ultimately, it's a curse. You got Jake out here who hate the the righteous of Yahweh Shai, because they so caught up in the way of Esau, man, right? But ultimately, though, speaking on his precept to Esau, right? Because he loved not his brother, man. It wish not our brother no more, but he's going to be punished for that. Right? We brought our precepts around and showed you a little bit of history of things, what that captivity, what they done to our people, man, right? So, Lord willing, right? Hold the lessons quick, edifying, and exalting, right? And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shout out to the whole elect, starting with 144,000. Shalom. It's like it messed me up because I was reading this. Actually, I'm gonna read down. I'm gonna read 13, 14. It's like I should have kept reading, right? I was just looking at it, right? It says, "Marvel not, my brethren, if the world hates you. We know that we have passed from death unto life because we love the brethren. He that loveth not his brother abideth in death." Right? So you have speaking of Jake, if you don't love speaking of Jake, they spiritually dead, right? But Esau, they are gonna abide in death. They're gonna be destroyed forever. Right? He said he loved not his brother abideth in death, man. That's why he mentioned Cain, right? Because Cain was who Esau, today, you can't be like him. He hate his brother, right? He hate us. Right? They hate us. They still want to kill us. Right? But they just can't do nothing because Yahweh Shai got his elect covered. They've been slaughtering Jake for the longest, right? But it's their turn now, right? So once again, shalom, peace, salutations, hopefully let, and Lord willing, let's edify till again.